Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, in this video I set myself a challenge which is to teach you how to shoot and edit the Milky Way in 7 super easy steps. This is like more beginner tutorial on how to do astrophotography, but I'm going to give you some vital tips to get amazing astrophotography. If you don't know who I am, my name is Serge Ramelli. I'm the official photographer of Las Vegas. I live in the United States, but my work is in 120 galleries around the world, and I've done 7 coffee table books, and also I am from the incredible city of Paris, France. I am French. Okay, so to shoot the Milky Way, step number 1 is you have to find a dark sky. There's one website that I recommend called darksidefinder.com, and you can see that you have a map of the world, and you can see right away, you know, where there is nothing here, when it's kind of blue is when you have dark sky. So you can look around. You see, for example, like this is Florida, and I live here. So unless if I go out to the sea, I have to go here in Florida if I want to get some dark sky. So wherever you have blue, you have dark sky. I used to live in Los Angeles, and I used to go here a lot in Palm Springs, where there's a lot of dark sky. So you have to look wherever you are. You want to get at least to like light blue. If possible, like with no colors, that's the best. But light blue, even like... you know, just avoid the red. The red is not going to work, but you will be surprised what your camera can capture. So that's step number 1. Find some dark sky. If you want to take amazing landscape and cityscape photography, download for free my Photography Essential. It's over 100 photo recipes on how to get amazing photos. Step number 2 is when to shoot. So for this, I use this app called Photopills, which I really love. And if you've never used Photopills, I'm going to show you a very simple tutorial. You go first to a planner. So you go to planner, boom. The first thing that you do is put in today's date. So for example, I'm going to click here on the, you see where it says the time at the bottom? And I'm going to say now. So I'm putting the date of today, all right? Now let's say that you have decided to shoot at, let's say, for example, you have decided to shoot in Joshua Tree, which is what I did. So you click here on the plus. If you want to point exactly where you're going to be shooting, which is more precise, you click on this plus here, and you take this symbol here, which is like the circle with a little dot. And then you move that around in the, you know, that little cross where you're going to be. So let's say Palm Springs here, Joshua Tree, which is perfect. And then you click with... And then you click with your finger on it, on the cross, boom. And it's going to assign the location of where you're going to shoot the Milky Way there. So you found the location on darkside.com and you are there. Now, you want to know when is the next time I can shoot the best Milky Way? Well, on top, make sure that you have this little Galaxy Center word there. And all you have to do is click on that. Check it out. So the date today is 2nd, so February 17, 2025. If I press this, boom, it's going to go to end of 2020. It's going to go to end 27th of February. And because on that day, the Galaxy Center will be visible. It means that there is new moon. There's no moon in the sky. And then you can see here, I can move around and I can see the Milky Way, how it's going to be exactly like in 3D, you know, like, but the problem is like, yeah, so I can shoot it at around 8 o'clock in the evening, you know, 10 p.m., which is really cool. Now, per experience, the best months to shoot the Milky Way is from March to June. You're going to get a panorama. So what that means with a panorama, donc là, je te donnerai une panorama, is when the Milky Way is very low. You see, if you keep pressing that button on top here, it's going to choose the next best date to shoot the Milky Way, which in my case is 29 March. The next best date is now April 27. You see, April 27, the Milky Way is kind of low. You can see the circle is kind of very low, meaning it's very close to the horizon. But if I start going to July, for example, so I press on top there, the next date is, let's see, what's the next date is 26 May is the best, 2025. The next one is 25 June. Okay, 25 June, I should look at this. 25 June, you start getting like a vertical Milky Way. In fact, the photo we're going to retouch today was taken mid-July. So mid-July is perfect, and you're going to get this very vertical Milky Way. So yeah, just click up top on Galaxy Center, and you see which date in your area where there is not too much light where you can shoot it. Once you've established that, then of course you need a good tripod. Now, here's the lens that I recommend. Number 3 best lenses. The good thing with shooting the Milky Way is you don't need an autofocus lens. In fact, I would not recommend it. So you have this brand called Rokinon or Samyang. And they do that for every brand. They have this 14mm at 2.8, which is manual focus for like $200. This is a perfect lens because at 2.8, you can get a lot of light to come in and you're gonna get an amazing, amazing star. You're gonna get an amazing Milky Way. Okay, so the Rocaton 14mm 2.8 is really good. Samyang 40mm. 40mm is really wide and 2.8 is good. It's not even what I use in this video, but this is kind of the best. Number 4, the best setting is 15 seconds, because if you go over 15 seconds, you're gonna get a small star trail you're gonna get a little tail on your star because of the rotation of the Earth. So 15 seconds, you usually wanna get very sharp stars, so 15 seconds is good. So 2.8 if you can, f4 if you cannot. In this case, I was at f4, but luckily I'm gonna show you at the end of the video a really good trick if you don't have a 2.8 lens. And ISO around 1500. Now this, I completely violate this. This is one of my favorite Milky Way shot. And if you look at it, I shot it, that was a big mistake. Well, I didn't really have a choice because I did 10 second instead of 15. F4, because I had a 24mm F4. I couldn't go wider. I couldn't go to 2.8 or 1.4. And then I went all the way to 8000 ISO. But you will see it's not so much a problem. I'm just saying if you want to get the best of the best, be very wide at like 40mm, 2.8. Now, one very important trick, if you want to get very sharp stars like this that I got here, you need to manual focus and make sure when you manual focus that your star are the smallest possible. Like this is a good example of very sharp stars, that photo that we're going to be retouching. This is an example where I messed up and I didn't do the focusing properly, and you can see the stars are a little bit blurry. So make sure you manual focus, you punch in on, a lot of camera, when you manual focus, it can punch in, it can zoom in a lot, and then you can really see the star and make sure that they're smallest possible. Once you have that, if you don't have a 14mm, which I didn't have at the time, I think this one's like my regular 24-70, I took 2 photos. I had my buddy Darius hold a lamp against the Milky Way. I thought it was really funny. And then took another one for the Milky Way, and we're gonna blend it and retouch it together. Now, that's my next tip, is you need to have some kind of really cool foreground. A nice shape of rocks, somebody up in the air, a nice tree, something, not too much, not too small, something that really works. And you will see this one is gonna really work. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select both of this raw file. I'm gonna show you a really cool trick. I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna photo merge panorama, because I wanna mix them into a panorama. This one, I'm going to go to perspective. Perspective is just a different way to mix the panorama. And I'm going to use boundary wrap to sort of squeeze the pixel that I don't have. And I'm going to create a merge. And that's going to create one photo with the bottom and the top. By the way, I have a complete walkthrough on how you can find your style, your voice as a photographer, using the natural drama. It's a full masterclass, totally free. The link is under this video. Here we are. We now have the panorama assembled, and I'm just gonna do so on this one I'm not gonna open the shadows completely, because if I do that, look at all the noise that I have here, look at all the noise that I have on him. Although I'm gonna show you a really cool trick on noise that on this purpose, that I'm gonna do on purpose at the end. So I'm gonna lower the shadow just like this. I'm going to basically just do my black point. So what you do is you hold on the Option key if you're on a Mac, or Alt key on Windows, and you want to get a bit of black point like that. And then I'm going to do my white, and the white is really what's going to reveal the photo. I really want the white to go far, so it's very bright. Look at that. It's pretty cool. And yes, there is noise in him, so let's zoom in on him and crush the blacks a bit. All right. And you'll see, we're going to take care of the noise after. But I like that sky. I think the sky is a bit too bright at top. So what I'm going to do is now, first let's do a bit of white balance. Let's maybe make it a little bit more blue and a little more magenta. I like very cold sky. Okay, that's perfect. And I'm going to take a gradient. Well, no, maybe a little bit too much blue. Yeah, something like that. Maybe a little less like that. Just, you do it what you want. I like kind of the blue magenta look. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to do a linear gradient. And I'm going to do 2 linear gradients. The first one I'm going to do very big like this. I'm just going to slightly lower the exposure. Voila, so that it's a bit darker on top, and this. And then I'm going to make another linear gradient over the photo. And on this one, I'm going to boost the clarity. Because the whole idea is you don't want to boost the clarity on the entire photo. You just want to boost it on the top. So check this out. Before, after. Look how it makes the Milky Way really come out. And then this is a lamp from a car or something that was there. So we're going to have to take care of that. So first thing, I want to make the Milky Way really pop. I think I'm going to make the photo a little bit darker overall. So I'm going to lower the exposure a bit. Yes, very slightly. And I'm going to go here and add another mask, but this time a radial gradient over the Milky Way. Over the Milky Way. Boom. And on this one, I'm just going to add a little bit of exposure, a little bit of magenta maybe, and a little bit of clarity again, like clarity again. Yeah, you want to make sure it's not on the gentleman, but just here a little bit on the Milky Way. And check it out. Before, after. Maybe let's add a little bit more exposure because you hardly see anything. Yeah. Before, after. And look at this. Before all the mask, before and after. It just really makes it pop. Okay, now we have a problem because my eyes really goes here because of this rock. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go to select object. It's going to make a little brush and I'm going to brush here on the brightest part of the rock here. Just the brightest part like that. And you see it selected that and now I'm going to lower the exposure just so that there is less attention on that. I do like that there is a bit of details there. But, and I'm basically kind of done, but here's the master trick. Okay, before and after. Now, before I give you the master trick, I had a lot of trouble to get award-winning photos when I started, and I got really lucky to be an assistant with like masters. If you want to work with me one-on-one so that I can make you an award-winning photographer, I freed up some of my space. I've opened a few spots on my calendar this week. You can book the call here right now. There's just a few spots open. Book a call. The link is under the video. All right, so now I want to show you this master trick because if I zoom in, you can see there's a lot of noise here, and that is not good. That is not good. I like the photo, but when we zoom in, if I want to print it, too much noise. So I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to go to this new feature called Enhance. And of course, you wouldn't have that issue if you were clever and you had shot this at 2.8 or 1.4 and you were at 1500 ISO instead of being at 8000. But I want to show you this feature, which is amazing. You see the denoise feature, I put about 55. And by doing that, it's going to take out the noise at the raw file level. And the good thing is you can do it towards the end. So, you know, because once you've done the retouching, you can appreciate your photo much better. And look at the difference. So on the left side, you have the noiseless photo. Look at that. There's no noise on here, no noise on the rocks. It's all clean. No noise on the star. Look at this. Look how much noise there is on him, how much noise there is on the rocks. It's all gone. And that's a new feature that came out in 2024, which I love. And voila, that's how you shoot and you retouch the Milky Way. I love doing that. I can't wait to see what you're going to be doing with it. Make sure you subscribe. I got an incredible video coming out and you don't want to miss it. Check out the links under the video. I'll see you in another video. Au revoir.